season was a time of growing. We grew together and we grew individually. Many times of you, this was your first time ever playing volleyball at WCA. I enjoyed watching you learn the fundamentals and accomplishing the goals that we set for ourselves. I enjoyed the time we had spent together on the many bus rides, even the long ones we took to Lumberton. Your laughter and your fellowship will always be remembered. Remember the good times that we had together. Now for the awards. You all did a fantastic job this year. This player, though, she showed Christ in everything that she did throughout the year. And the character award goes to Lexi Neal. Good job, Lexi. This player, by the end of the season, she was great at making sure that the ball was returned to the other side and that she played as a team on the court. The best offensive award goes to Caitlin Lucera. Good job, Caitlin. This player, all season long, had the most reliable serve. She was the one who we relied on for serving. And the best server award goes to Karis. Good job, Karis. And though everyone improved this year, the player who I saw the most improvement was Peyton. Good job, Peyton. You got the most improved award.
I absolutely enjoyed my first season coaching these ladies. They were such a fun group of ladies to coach. They were always willing to learn and ask questions, and they were willing to do anything that I put them through. They had such a great time adapting to our schedule, practicing here, practicing there, our games, and they did so well. Their spirit was always up, and they just absolutely enjoyed watching them play the sport of volleyball, and hope to watch them grow in their love for the sport and in their skills as they continue to move up to JV and varsity. I have a couple awards. The first award goes to a player that she improved, and it came out of nowhere during the middle of the season, and I enjoyed watching her grow. So the most improved award goes to Lauren Lancaster. The second award is best server. I could always count on this player to get the ball over the net, especially when it counted. I know that if we were in a bind, that when she was up to serve, we were definitely going to get it over the net and be able to return it and play it. So my best server award goes to Grace Wicks. The next award is my character award. This girl, she always had a smile on her face. I don't care if we were losing or if we were winning, even in the locker room, on the bus, on the floor, she always was smiling and always encouraging her teammates. So my character award goes to Caroline Priest. My last award is my MVP award. This player, she was great at whether it was passing, setting, attacking, serving. She could do it all, and I was always so proud of her and knew that she was going to be able to do whatever I asked of her, and that award goes to Sarah Mint.
Hey guys, Coach Shannon Harmon here from Middle School Boys Soccer. I've been spending a lot of time at home during this quarantine working on my soccer skills for next season, and super excited about it coming up here, but want to show you guys what I've been working on. Sure hope you guys have been practicing your juggling. All right guys, I've been working on my keeper skills so I can work with you guys. I've learned how to read which way they're going to take the PK. So now you see why I'm on the sidelines and you're on the field. This award this season goes to a player that we had last year as well. We called him our cleanup guy. He was always there around the goal offensively. Didn't matter what happened, he always seemed to be there. He had a lot of assists. He had some goals. He had a lot of shots just about every game. So our offensive award for the 2019-2020 WCA Middle School Boys Soccer Team goes to Erin Lucera. Okay, for the second award, this award goes to a player who was also a veteran of the soccer team, and I loved his personality. He was great to get along with, kind of quiet, but just wonderful to be around. His leadership on the field, quiet, silent leadership. We always look forward to having him on the back line on defense, fast. He was always there to mess up the offense from the other team. And the defensive award for this year goes to Vincent Savelli. All right, our next award goes to a player who was new this year. And Coach Hack said when we had tryouts, he said he's going to be your guy to watch. And throughout the season, he convinced me that he was right. And this player grew and grew and got better and better. He was very aggressive, just not afraid to get up in there. And our most improved player goes to Elijah Douglas. All right, the last award for this soccer season goes to a young man who was really a leader on the team, another silent leader, really changed the way we played whenever he was on the field. Our guys looked up to him a lot. He was able to play a little bit of varsity as well. He should get the award for the most injuries or the most beat downs maybe of the season. But our last award is the most valuable player, and that goes to Tyler Boylan. All right, we had a good time this past season. Our record was 6-6-2, although we did lose most of our starting lineup from the previous season. I thought we had a great season this past year. I want to thank Coach Hack for his help, practice plans, game time decisions, all the things that he did to help the team and help me. I learned a lot from him, learned a lot from this past season. I learned a lot from you players as well, and I'm looking forward to this coming season, working with you again and the new players that will join the roster. Our theme from last year was relentless, because we want to be relentless in our life, our spiritual life, our academics, as well as on the field. We don't want to back down. We want to keep pushing forward, do the best we can. And looking forward to this coming season. We're going to go after the trophy again, so you guys come ready to play.
We are the Patriots too. A little bit louder.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Coates, and I coached the middle school cheerleaders this year. We had a really great time. We had 14 girls this year, which is exciting because that allows us to do quite a few more stunts at a time. And we started off with about 8 or 9 girls, and then we had another tryout at the beginning of the school year, and we added the rest of the girls. And so some of them we were actually starting brand new. We had 10 new girls this year that had never cheered with us. And then 7 of them were 6th graders, so it was a really young team that we were working with. We only had 4 girls that were returning, so it was a little bit of a challenge this year. We were excited to see how things would turn out. You never know. And they did an excellent job. We were really proud of them. I'm going to go ahead and just give the list of girls. I'll start with the 6th graders. We had Sydney Giddings, Rowan Smiley, Lexi Neal, Leah Edwards, Genevieve McKinney, Emily Bloom, and Briley Dory. In our 7th grade group, we had Rachel Cutter, McKinney Reynolds, Bridget Barnes, Amelia Willis, and Annalise Coates. And then we had 2 8th graders, Marley Now and Caroline Sylvester. So we started off with 10 new girls, and it was a little scary going in because a lot of them had never stunted before, and we were starting from scratch. So we started at the most simple, basic stunts, and then we worked our way to some really difficult ones by the time we got to our competition. They did an excellent job. One of the stunts that we did was it was a very difficult stunt that we actually pulled together within just about 2 practices, and they just really came together by the end, and it was so much fun to watch them grow. And I'm so thankful that I had the opportunity to work with these girls. I really enjoyed the time spent with them, and like I said, watching them grow. They all did an excellent job. They all deserve awards. Cheerleading is one of those that it takes everybody. We have a spot for every person. Every person has a job, and if we pull one person out, then our whole routine is done for. So they all worked hard and deserve an award, but we have a few that we're just going to highlight today. The first one is the Spirit Award, and this person was full of spirit. She did such a great job of being excited about being wherever she was when it came to cheerleading. She was willing to do whatever was needed on the squad. She went wherever she was needed, and just always had an enthusiastic spirit about being there. And that was McKinney Reynolds. Great job. Our next one is Most Improved. This young lady wasn't on the original team, so she came in and tried out at the beginning of the year, and she was terrified, you could tell, at tryouts. And we went from very serious and straight-faced at the beginning of our season to by the end, she was actually smiling and enjoying herself, and I could see such a transformation in her, and it was fun to watch that growth. And that is Rowan Smiley. Excellent job. And our next one is the High Flyer. The high flyer is exactly what it sounds like. They're the ones that we're throwing in the air. They're the ones that are at the top of the stunt. But this young lady did an excellent job. As I mentioned before, we had a lot of new girls, which means the bases of our stunts. So in a stunt, you have 2 bases and then you have a back spot. And in a lot of those stunts, we had new girls, totally new girls that were new to stunting. And she jumped in there with no fear and was like totally trusting them, and she just had a good attitude the entire time, and it made it easy for me to be able to tell her, get back up there and try it again, and she was right ready to go, and I appreciated that. And that was Annalise Coates. Excellent job. And our final award is the Coaches Award, and this one, this young lady was willing to do whatever was needed. She was such a sweet spirit, always encouraging, and just a blessing to have on the team. I appreciated her attitude about everything. And that was Lexi Neal. Thank you for your sweet spirit. And I just appreciate all the girls. They've done an excellent job. They've come so far, and I can't wait to see next year's team and how they continue to grow. Thanks.
Middle school girls basketball team didn't really have much of a home court really this year, so I brought you to my home court. Basketball season feels like such a long time ago. I missed the season, I missed the girls, we had such a great time this year. Having a young team of only 6th and 7th graders didn't stop the Lady Patriots from having a winning season this year. The girls worked really well together, they worked really hard in practices and in every game, and I'm really proud of the progress that they made together as a team this year. Like I said, we had a really young team this year, and a lot of the girls had never played on a basketball team before. So I hate giving out Most Improved awards sometimes because I feel like that could go to a lot of girls every season. But when I thought about Most Improved this year, both Coach Harmon and I were in agreement that this girl showed the most improvement throughout the whole season, specifically on the offensive side of the ball. She was always really aggressive from the start on defense, but she worked really hard over the whole season to better herself dribbling, to become a better shooter. She didn't start the season as a starter, but as the season progressed, I began to look more and more towards her as one of the first 5 because she was such a good addition on both sides of the ball. Most improved for the 2019-2020 middle school girls basketball team is Karis Townsend. This next award probably will come as no shock to any of the girls on the team or any of the parents and fans who came to watch us play. Best offensive this year goes to Caitlin McCurry. It was very obvious to us when she wasn't on the court, and the one game that she missed this season, it was extremely obvious on the scoreboard that she wasn't there. I coached Caitlin last year, and I am so impressed with the way that she stepped from being a timid 6th grader last year to the dominant scorer that she was for our team this year. Best offense is Caitlin McCurry. I struggled a lot with who was going to be the best defense for this year because there were several girls who really stepped up, and their stats that back their steals and their defensive rebounds. But when it really came down to it, I couldn't think about having the season that we did defensively if it weren't for one of our new 6th graders. She did a lot for us on the offensive side of the ball. She brought the ball down the court. She was our main point guard, but it was on the defensive end where she excelled. Her aggression, hustle, and toughness made her a crucial part of our defense. Best defense this year goes to Caitlin Lucera. My last award is called the Heartily As to the Lord Award. The name comes straight from our team verse, Colossians 3:23 and 24. And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto men, knowing that of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance, for ye serve the Lord Christ. I named the award that because it goes beyond just having good sportsmanship. Heartily as to the Lord means that no matter what they're doing, whether they are in practice or a game, in the classroom, in the hallways, at lunch, riding on the bus to a practice or to a game, everything that they do is heartily as the Lord. This girl gave 100% no matter what she was doing, whether she was sitting and cheering on the bench, whether she was playing in the game, whether she was in practice, whether it was, hey, Miss Phillips, can I help put the balls away? When I think every year about who I give this award to, it goes beyond the skill level on the court, and it goes beyond even just a good attitude. Heartily as the Lord means 100%, and no matter what they're doing, even if it's not on the basketball court. This young lady truly exemplifies what a Christ-like athlete should look like. Heartily as to the Lord award goes to Lauren Lancaster. Parents, I love your girls. Thank you for letting me have them for a short amount of time this year. Cape Fear, Harold, St. Mark's, watch out. The Lady Patriots are coming for a trophy next year.
It's been a unique year for all of us, and I hope everyone's doing well. I enjoyed coaching the young men this year, and we not only had to learn each other, but we also had to learn a new offense this year that they'll be able to take and move forward to through middle school, into JV, into varsity. So that was encouraging this year. Each young man improved from practice to practice and from game to game. And we were hitting our stride just as the season was coming to an end. Before I go into the awards, I just want to mention each player. And I'm going to start with our 8th graders, Riley Hack. Riley would do anything he was asked, whether it was to guard a certain player the whole game, or just run suicides in practice. He always did it with a smile. Our second 8th grader was Bradley Petro. He was one of the fastest guys on the team. He worked really hard on his layups, and it showed in our final games as he was getting fast breaks and making layups and doing what it took to score. So our 7th graders, Aaron Ruiz, he was one of our forces down underneath the basket. He was always aggressive and always played full speed. Matthew Roberts was our other 7th grader who went quietly about his business, playing his game, doing whatever he could to help the team, playing offense and playing defense. Devin Pascarella, DP, was our 6th grader. He was tremendous throughout the year at running the point. And I remember in our last game, he ran down one of the opposing players down the court, dove to the ground, stole the ball, and passed it off to Lucas Shields, who was running the fast break and was able to get a transition layup from that. So Lucas was also a 6th grader, was never afraid to fire up a 3, and he always had a knack to be in position to have an open look. Cartier Borromeo became more and more confident as the season went on, as he got to play more and more minutes. He even earned more minutes towards the end of the season, and he played great defense, and he has a quick putback shot when he gets a rebound. He scored most of his points on putbacks, because he was in a good position for a rebound and was able to spring back up and score before the defense could react. Max Brutus was another one of our sixth graders, and Max could almost score at will. It seemed like every time he was in the game, the ball would go in the hoop. Paul Jenkins. Paul seemed to be the perfect pickpocket. Every time he was in, he was always being able to put his hands on the ball as a defender and either get the steal or tie it up as a jump ball. And then our last sixth grader, certainly not least, was Justin Taylor. And JT was growing tremendously as a point guard this year. He was also a scrappy defensive player who a lot of times would frustrate the opposing team. So we had 4 awards this year, and we have the defensive player, the offensive player, we have the most improved, and we have the coaches award. So the defensive player award this year goes to Aaron Ruiz, who had the most blocks. He was the most aggressive of our defensive players down low. And so for that, we're giving him the defensive player award. So our offensive player award goes to Matthew Roberts, who scored the most points and was on the leaderboard for assists this year. Our most improved player, this one was a tough one, but towards the end of the year, this particular athlete started to separate and grow just exponentially, and that's Bradley Petro. He, again, would work on his layups, he would work on his shots, work on being in the right position, his defense, and just grew tremendously this year. And so for that, we're giving him the most improved award. And lastly, the coaches award goes to Riley Hack. I mentioned earlier that Riley would do whatever he was asked to do, whether it was to play defense, play a certain position on offense that he wasn't comfortable with or wasn't used to, or just run suicides. And he would always do it with a smile. He would always say, "Yes, sir," and just go and do it. And so he led by his example in the effort and the attitude part of his game for others on the team to see and hopefully strive to have that same attitude going forward. So I wish I could see you. I wish I could shake everybody's hand, pat everybody on the back, tell you it was good to see you, but we can't. So hope everyone has a good summer. And again, I look forward to next year and what we can do to win the title in middle school basketball.
I'm excited to give the awards for the middle school A team in basketball virtually. I look forward to seeing you guys soon in some shoot-arounds in the summer workouts and the pool party on Saturday. I'm thankful for the opportunity to coach this season for the middle school A team and working with the B team as well. Thank you to the parents for giving your support and allowing us to minister through basketball and the activities we did to your son. I want to thank Coach Roberts for his support and effort in doing the B team and helping with practices, and Coach 2, Nathan Renier, for keeping the books and TJ being the manager. I want to thank the team specifically for your support and allowing me to coach you this season after 4 years of kind of not taking the head coaching role with our family situation and shaking off the rust this season. It was a blast as we did all in basketball. And from the very first tip off here in this picture, it was truly a blast, and I enjoyed it very much. Our theme was all in, 1 Corinthians 10:31, whether therefore you eat or drink or whatsoever you do all to the glory of God. A few highlights from this season and just the players. The record that we had was 8-10. That combined our Myrtle Beach trip and our playoffs. Some of our key victories were against ACC, the Academy of Coastal Carolina. We're a scrappy team that the first time we only won by a couple points missing Chase in that game, and we played them at home at Northside and won by 22. We really played a complete game, a really fun game because we defended well and shot well. Our first home playoff game was another highlight as we went on a 16-0 run to finish out the game against Harrells and played a really good game on our home court for the first time. So that was exciting. Some of our great battles, we did end up with a challenging conference schedule because the teams are so well stacked there. The couple of the battles were the homeschool team, who was very skilled. We only lost by 4 to them the second time we played them, so greatly improved there and had a chance to cut it close, maybe to win it. Some other close games that we had were to Myrtle Grove. Both times we lost by 1 and 4. St. Mark's, we went from a deficit from 18 down to 4. And so played each team better. Even Cape Fear trying to get into the championship, we were only down by 6 or 8 in the fourth quarter. So I'm very proud of the progress we made. We were very close to making our record way more impressive than all the hard work they put in this year. Some of they'll just mention the players here: Callaway Upchurch, Levi Lancaster, John Strite, Tyler Boylan, Chase Sallings, Vince Savelli, Dominic Savelli, Aaron Lucera, and then some B team players played with us many games. Matthew played with us, Matthew Roberts, and then Devin Pasquarella and Riley Hack also played with us a game or two. So appreciate you guys joining us and getting those games under your belt. From not beyond just also the fact that we did basketball games and basketball practices, we also hung out at my house and had some good times there, playing some sports and eating some food. We also got to take a retreat that haven't done for a couple of years to Anderson, South Carolina, where we were able to have a retreat and play basketball all night and go to the Clemson game, baseball and basketball game, and hang out for the weekend. So that was a fun trip. Also the times to Islands and the UNCW games, our family times on the Wednesday afternoons to check grades. So those were exciting times. Amazing about this team is how young they were. We only had one returning A-team player from the previous season, and over half of our players had not been on an organized basketball team. And they also learned a brand new offense and defense, which was exciting to see them pick it up and really get it by parts of it by the end of the season, and looking forward to next year, the opportunity to go right into that and grow. I wanted to talk specifically about some of the players that did not receive award. I could only pick 4. It was extremely hard to do. But I want to mention these guys and just a few highlights about them. The first is Callaway Upchurch. I'm so thankful that I got to coach him this year as he moves on to JV. I wish I had him for another year. Callaway averaged 4.1 points per game. I'm not exactly sure on the rebounds, but he had a huge game against homeschool that second time. Really got aggressive and had some key blocks and came up big in those games. He improved in his free throw shooting and really worked hard every practice to improve his shot. And I look forward to watching him play in JV next year. So appreciate you, Callaway. Levi Lancaster, was a quiet guy, didn't say a lot, but he had a huge game at Myrtle Beach against a really good team that beat us. Probably one of the best teams we played all year, and was very scrappy, took the ball at the basket. He seemed to be in the right place at the right time, and averaged close to 2 points a game, and did a great job this season. So Levi, I'm proud of you. Vince Savelli missed several games because he had the flu, and so that was disappointing there for a couple weeks. But I had a great spirit. He was a great defender. He was probably our comic guy of the team, and really hard worker. Just building confidence to, by the end of the season, he wanted to shoot the ball, and I'm proud of his progression. I look forward to him next season. Dominic Savelli, he only ended up playing 7 games. I'm proud of the 7 games that he played. He's sick on and off throughout the season, and that was a downer for our team because we didn't have him on the bench for a few of those games. But incredible shooter. I look forward to next year him shooting a lot of 3-pointers, and one practice he specifically, I don't think he missed a shot in about 20. It was amazing. So he probably had the biggest 3 of the year against Academy of Coastal Carolina in our first time when Chase wasn't there. hit the three to go into halftime with a 3-point lead, and it was a huge three to help us boost us into that and average 1.1 points per game. And so I want to mention Matthew also. I'm looking forward to having him next year. Of the I think 7 or 8 games that he played, he averaged 2 points a game and shot 8 for 16 from the field, and 1 for 1 from the free throw line. So I look forward to his progression next year. Devin was 4 for 8 from the field when he played and had a 1.1 points per game. And then Briley also, his defensive presence, and played in the game with us to help out our team. So I'm proud of Riley Hack as well. To the 4 awards, the first one is going to go to Tyler Boylan. He gets the most hustle. Tyler took a lot of hits for our team, and he got knocked all over the floor, took several charges, and many injuries that he got, but we were very proud of him. He could stick on any defender, and I could put him on him, and he would hustle that down. He averaged 5.1 points per game. So congratulations to Tyler for the Most Hustle Award. The next award goes to John Strite. He gets the Coaches Award. This is one of my favorites just because I pick one player that exemplifies what a coach is looking for. John had to build through the season confidence in the fact that he could handle the ball and that he could be trusted. And I trusted him to handle the ball down the floor, make the right decisions, and confidence in his shot. He averaged 2.3 points per game. He made 2 major threes at the end of the season and just boosted his confidence in the point guard role, and always was very polite and helpful, and enjoyed the talks we had on the bus rides back, and the hard work that you did. So John, congratulations and the Coaches Award. The next one is the Most Improved. This one's really hard to do, but looking at the stats here that maybe come up with the Most Improved would be Aaron Lucera. So congratulations, Aaron. Aaron averaged 2.1 points per game. As a fierce defender, if you came to the games, he was scrapping all over the floor and never giving up on a defender. So I look forward to that again next year. Maybe the athlete that very athletic, but maybe didn't have probably the least amount of knowledge about basketball on the A team, but by the end of the season was starting and playing some key minutes when controlling the basketball here. You can see this in this picture. Aaron did a great job. So congratulations to Aaron for Most Improved. And the last one goes to Chase Sallings. He gets the Leadership Award. You could say MVP of our team, mainly because everybody looked to him as being the leader, sometimes too much. And Chase was a very selfless person and would many times give the ball up when he didn't have to, and he could have shot more. He averaged close to 10 points per game this season. Every three-pointer that he threw up looked like it was going to go in. So every shot looked like it was going to go in. He was 41% for the field this season and shot very well from the free throw line, and some of his floaters that he went in on took the ball to the basket. So I'm very proud of his leadership in practice, and someone that is a good example to the younger guys and our only returning A team player. That concludes the awards four awards that I have. I just appreciate the ability to do this video and to give this presentation to these guys. I'll be giving these awards to you guys and some other things that I have made for the guys for the remainder of their career, and they can work on. Our theme for next year is going to be hard work, and I've already got the warm-up music to go with it, and I'm excited to coach these guys, many of them again, and I look forward to watching several of the guys in their career in JV and varsity as they continue throughout. So thank you again for your support, the opportunity to coach here at Wilmington Christian.
Well, greetings everybody. I'm over here in Wimbledon at the All England Lawn Tennis Club. Next month is the Wimbledon Championships, and I'm out here helping Roger get ready for the big tournament. hey, make sure you take some shots up at the net. But anyway, I wanted to take this opportunity, first of all, to say thank you to Coach Staten for giving me the opportunity to work with the middle school girls tennis. Mr. Breyer told me that I was going to have a great time and that it would be a great group of girls, and he was exactly right. My first time working with a tennis club, I have to say, what was the hardest thing? Thinking about that, I would say the hardest thing was getting the bus from Ogden Park across the street at Gordon Road and into the Circle K to get our frozen drinks. That's probably the hardest thing, the hardest part of this task. But anyway, I had a great time. I was told at the beginning that this was going to be a non-competitive atmosphere, that the girls would be primarily getting introduced to the sport, and so that's kind of what this was. And with that in mind, I didn't come up with the most valuable player. I didn't come up with somebody the best server or anything like that, because the whole point of this, the whole focus of this, was for these girls to learn the game of tennis and hopefully encourage them to take it up as a lifetime sport. I do hope these girls, if they really like it, that they get a chance to play something more competitive, but this was really a non-competitive atmosphere that we were in. But in light of that, what I would like to do is present 2 awards. I've got a Coaches Award and a Most Improved Player Award. So for starters, the Coaches Award, this goes to a young lady who I would consider to be one of the best teammates that I've ever seen, not only this year on this club, but in all the experience that I've had with coaching. This young lady was a great teammate, and that's really what I try to promote when working with young people playing sports, and that is to be a good teammate and just demonstrate brotherly love, as Christians we're to love one another, and in a team atmosphere you can really see if a person has this spirit towards their teammates and those around them. And this young lady was willing to play doubles if we asked her. She was willing to play a singles match if we asked her. It didn't matter who she was paired with. She was willing to do it. So that award goes to Sophia Aponte, just a great teammate. Then the next award would be my Most Improved, and the Most Improved Player. That award goes to somebody who worked hard, who was very patient out there during practice in learning. She wanted to improve her serve. She wanted to improve her ground strokes. Every part of her game she was wanting to get better at. And that award goes to Aubrey McKinney. By the way, Aubrey she is involved in mixed martial arts, and a lot of times that came in handy because there were a few matches that basically deteriorated into a big brawl, and Aubrey was very helpful in those situations as well. No, seriously, I had a great time, and I really appreciate getting the opportunity to work with your daughters and be a part of the middle school tennis program.